Hello, true duelists. YGO Strats here, coming at you with what will be the one and only episode of this series that I'm calling Cooking with Craig. That's right, I am here in the kitchen, dressed appropriately to go over all the spicy texts for your Paleo Frog deck. That's right, I'm coming at you with the one, the only, the Froge. Can you autofocus on that? Probably not. Stupid camera. No, today we're going over Paleo Frog. This is not a deck profile. Au contraire. This is how to add the spice. Because if there's one person who knows how to add spice to things, it's a person who is this pale. I am not nearly different enough in tone from the white shelving and cabinets behind me, and that is genuinely, I think I actually just need to go lay in the sun for the rest of time. And then I'll be red. Call it Lobster Fest, because I'll be cooked. Now let's get into it. When you're playing a Paleo Frog deck, you're playing it for one core reason. And that reason is, of course, the pink cards. See, Paleo is a series of trap cards, which you probably know because why on God's green earth would I talk about a paleo diet? What is this, a cooking channel? No. Let's start off first with the number one paleo card. Dinomischus. This is Karma Cut, but without a cost. We always make sure to play 3 of this bad boy, so let's just go ahead and throw that guy into the mix. Up next is, of course, Canadian's favorite one, Canada. Oh, Canada. Your national anthem, and that's it. Book of Moon. Play 3 of this guy too, throw that right into your mix. Blends in perfectly. I always like to wrap it up personally with a little bit of Olenoids, because I did get it right. It's not Opabinia. You see, Olenoids is an MST. That's right, it's like an MST. Shoutouts to a Laval profile and an inside joke I'm currently making on camera that none of you will get. We throw 3 of this bad boy right into the mix. And you can just tell they blend together perfectly. It's like they're designed to do it. And it's actually because the inherent flavors of the paleo. Beyond this, it's all about the normal traps. You see, Paleos are in them of themselves normal trap cards, which means that Soul Fusion gave us quite possibly the best piece of support for the deck in the form of Trap Trick. This card allows itself to become any one of your Paleos and any other normal trap you're playing. And so it's a mandatory 3 of in your mix. You don't want to go 2, you don't want to go 1, you don't want to go too light on this. This isn't about balance or sense. This is about 3 of this card right in. And you can see it blends in perfectly. It's all cohesion. It just makes sense. Up next, you're going to follow this with more normal traps. You don't want to muddy the bowl too much at this point. We're putting our base ingredients in, and that means we're just going to get more normal traps. Now, it is the year, any year after 2018, there's one normal trap you should always be considering as your hand trap for Paleos. And that is, of course, Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence is a fantastic way to make Valor irrelevant, unless Hulk exists. Shut up, we're not talking about Hulk, it's banned, it's dead, get over it. Once again, easy, 3 of. And you just put that right in, and it's like it was meant to be there. You can't even tell, matter of fact. It blends itself perfectly into the mix. Following it up with more, you won't believe it, normal traps. I believe there are 2 cards that are fantastic. Number 1, Ice Dragon's Prison. This is the prison that refers to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Because once you start buying these cards, for some reason you can't stop, and if I could go back in time and shoot a 15-year-old version of myself in the back of the head, I'd turn him around first. So we throw 3 of that right in there, and it mixes in like it's God's plan. Shout out to Drake, just kidding, fuck Canada. Moving on, I like to play 3-dimensional barrier. This is because I don't like my friends. Right in there. And as always, you just mix it up. Now, from here, this is where you can get creative. There are a plethora of normal trap cards in the game, and I recommend you try and get creative. What do you like? How can you make your deck a little more unique? Me, as a resident white boy, I like to add in the spice. What spice would that be? None other than, of course, Fiend Comedian. What if we could banish their graveyard or mill and leave it all to chance? Well, we can do that twice. We're going to throw 2 of those bad boys in. Perfect. I also like to play 2 Lost Winds in my build. It's a nice little bit of extra monster negation. It's a trap card activation to trigger your Paleos. And best of all, it can reset itself when your opponent summons something onto the field. 2 of those will go in without trouble. And I started playing in 09, so I'm always a sucker for a compulsory evacuation device. I play 2 of these and 2 of each to justify their existence and to get them out quick times with a trap trick and get rid of an access code. Easy peasy. From here, I do like to play my counter traps. Well, 1, but 3 of it. Sparkly and shiny, because if they're not, you're a peasant. Now these will add a bit of differentiality to our build thus far, but I think it's going to mix in with this recipe just fine. Now, I think it's healthy to have some variety in your builds. I like to include some green cards in mine, namely Pot of Desires. You should be playing 2, but I didn't grab the right ingredients and I ran out of time, so instead I'm throwing in Change of Heart as well. You can have a Change of Heart about playing Change of Heart and just put in 2 desires. And by play, I mean put it into the recipe. It's a recipe. And now, onto the namesake of the deck, the Froge. The Froge. I think Dupe Frog is fantastic. Dupe Frog is a great way to save your totally awesomes. I play 3 of it and put that into the bowl, and it fits like it belongs. Up next, Swap Frogs. Now, I'm not playing Swap Frogs. I'm playing Austaflausch, German Swap Frogs. Homegrown in Germany to make them even less decipherable to English players. Now, I've probably upset my German audience, which is, for whatever reason, my 2nd largest audience. Guten Tag, Germany. I don't know how to speak your language. Hope I'm not butchering this one. I play 3 of my Austaflausch because I like saying it, and it's a good card. And lastly, to round out the recipe, 2 copies of everyone's favorite. Fuck. I miss him so much.